Hey, guys. My name is Vic Skills Faith, and welcome to Cocktail Therapy, the podcast. This is the first episode. I'm super excited because I have my girl, Dear Shamika, with me. And I'm 100% excited about that. If you don't know, I'm actually going to let her introduce herself and just tell us about some of the things that she has going on and some of the things that she's doing. So, Shamika,
Hey,
welcome.
thank you for having me.
Yes. Shamika, just tell everybody kind of what you do about your podcasting and that sort of thing as well.
Okay, so I am the owner of the Baxter Initiative, which helps and supports college students and trade school students in getting into their career field. My company also has a lot of conversations that are transformational within the community. So, one of the conversations that we just had was Through My Eyes, the heartbreak of generational disconnection. So, just trying to help the community in bridging the gap and having impactful conversations. I feel like a lot of conversations that we have are surface level, and that can be due to the fact that we live in a social media era of basically going viral, virality. So a
Yeah.
lot of people want to go viral from shock value. I'm not playing the shock value game. I'm playing the long what is it called? I'm playing
The long
the
game.
long game.
Yeah.
So I don't care about virality. I care more so about impact. We also have a panel called Love, Lust, Sacrifice, which basically talks about just love, lust, and sacrifice, because lust feels like love until it's time to make sacrifice. But within that panel, I was like, you know what? I'm going to give the Vic Skis an exclusive because I'm one of those people. I never talk about my private life. I'm going to give some tidbits. I'm still keep it cute,
Which is
but
fine.
I'm gonna give some tidbits that on any other podcast I would not
Got you.
open up about. Period.
Got you. Okay. So, like I said, that's Shamika. I'm very grateful that she decided to do this. So this is Cocktail Therapy, the podcast. This podcast merges drinks with relationships, and Shamika doesn't drink like that. So I'm not gonna ask her what she drinking tonight. Might be water. I'm not sure,
Water.
but but I have a mixture of tequila and Sprite. And what we do is we discuss relationships and relationships on all different levels. So this show was going to explore different relationships, not just romantic relationships, but also familiar relationships and friendships, because I believe friendships are relationships too. So we'll have different episodes that cover that. So I thank you guys definitely for joining us. Again, I'm on tequila and Sprite, Patron specifically, and Sprite this evening. I didn't get all fancy with you guys, but we're going to dive into it tonight. We're talking about navigating relationships as a single woman. This is I think an important conversation to have. I think I'm going to have a part two with a single man out here in these streets trying to navigate relationships. But it's an important conversation to have, and the reason why is because a lot of us out here are single and we're literally just trying to figure it out. Nobody has like the key to everything. Nobody has the rule book to navigating this thing called relationships. And I believe that you are single until somebody put their ring on your finger. And I'm not meaning just engagement. I'm meaning because it's a little harder to walk away when you're married from a, because you got to file for divorce and so on and so forth and such. So I deem single as being not unmarried. Although we do commit ourselves to people in relationships, which leads to marriage. But I want to make sure I'm clear on that single man, single woman thing. So Shamika and I have a lot of conversations as it relates to relationships and us being single out here. And we are also entrepreneurs, and we're in our careers as well. So that's something that I guess I'm going to start off with that. um with you being successful, or rather working on your dream and chasing your dream, how has that been for you navigating in this space? Not you,
Uh,
not you, not your big old cheese. And how's it
uh,
been? Just
it's
give
it's
some examples. You don't have to be
I
Specific.
will be specific because I
Okay.
love you. So I won't go into like the people I've
Right.
dated or
Right.
whatever the case may be, but I will say that navigating as a woman who I would like to say is ambitious is extremely hard, especially when you have a servant mentality, because I'm one of those people I want to latch on. I one of the things I look for in a man when I'm dating is can I build with this person?
Right.
So I look for a strong work ethic. So if the man has a strong work ethic, that's one of the things that's a key characteristic. I'm like, okay, we can build something together. But I know my work ethic. Like I have an insane work ethic, and I also know how
Yeah.
much it takes to do groundwork and chase a dream. So ambition is like one of the most attractive characteristics, not just, working a 9 to 5 ambition,
Right.
but actually being able to discuss your dreams with me. I discuss my dreams with you. And that's something that I would say it's hard to come across somebody that, you guys are working towards something together, especially, I'm in my 30s.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people at this point in time have kind of met their person. So I would say that it's kind of difficult because as much as I pour, I want to receive the
Absolutely.
reciprocity of, a person coming to me. And not to say I haven't had people that I'm cool with come to my events because I have a
Right.
great village, but a person coming to my events, a person cheering me on, I don't normally like typically people feel like I got it. So I don't necessarily I can't say that now. I was when I was in a when I was in a relationship, um we didn't work out for whatever reason, but
Mhm.
there were specific cases where like he did support me. Like he was the reason that I got in grad school, which a lot of people don't know. Like I really am a extremely private person, so he helped me get in grad school. He helped me get money for grad school. He helped me when I incorporated my business. He was right there with me.
Right.
So we did a lot, like as far as support in starting things up, like I had
Right.
that support. But it didn't work out. We weren't for each other, but it also taught me like it's not a lot of people out here that understand the grind, and it's not a lot of people out here that if they don't understand it, they can't support it.
Right.
So it's I miss that the aspect of feeling like, man, I don't we me and whoever, and like I want me and my partner, I want to be like, man, my babe killing it, but I want
Yeah.
to service him too. I want to
Yeah.
feel like I'm a part of that dream too. So being a woman with ambition is so hard because it's like I'm always on the go, and some people may take that as I'm just out here in these streets, but really I'm out here chasing my dreams.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I would say it's hard. It's very hard because I want to support a partner. And most, when people feel you're attractive, they minimize your greatness to, oh, she's attractive or I like her. And I'm like, bruh, you're not even using me to my full capacity because I'm a
Yeah.
whole boss out here.
Yes.
You are
Yes.
my whole boss, not a half a boss. I'm a whole boss out here. So
Right.
baby, let's go. Like
Yeah.
I'm really on in go mode. Like I really want, to support somebody in both of us getting to our next level. But it's like, man, like when you start bossing up mentally, you realize how surface level dating is.
It
Like
is.
most
It,
people,
they don't.
most people are surface level thinkers when it comes to dating. So I'm like, man, I don't want you watered down. I want you foolproof. And
Foolproof. Yeah.
I think that's difficult when
Yeah.
you're educated and you're and enterprising.
So with that, and I do notice that it's hard for women who are ambitious really to find somebody that's really for them. And I do see a lot of women settling that are in um positions. I've seen women who are nurses, doctors, lawyers, settling so that they can have a man at home. And I'm not saying settling in the sense of their man ain't doing nothing, or I'm sorry, not saying I'm saying settling in the sense of they would take someone that people would probably perceive as beneath them in a sense.
See, I don't feel that anybody's beneath me, but I need us to be in alignment
Right.
on,
So I'm
like,
let
as
me
long
let
as
me
we're
change
on
what
the
I'm saying.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I
Let,
feel like when there have been situations where I wasn't fully who I needed to be. It's
absolutely.
just being open to growing in the same
And growth.
direction.
Well, let me rephrase what I'm saying. Someone that's not in direct alignment with what they have going on. A lot of times I've seen women in those situations that end up with people who use them. And I'm talking about, I've seen minute things, to where they're just not in alignment to, they being jodied out here in these streets. And if
Yeah,
y'all gonna
I
hear me
can't
say
say
that a
I've
lot.
been Jody, but I can say this. Um, I can be a tough cookie at times.
Right. Right.
So I've been tough. I
Yeah.
ain't always been the perfect angel in situations, but um and I don't want to blame it on my ambition. Like, when you're an ambitious person, sometimes it's stressful. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of people don't understand the weight on a person that's chasing something. So you have to be a sense of relief for that
For that
person.
person. Yeah.
And a lot of people, like I said, if you're not in their person's shoes, even cheering for like a person saying, I'm proud, because I tell people I'm proud of them all the time. I like
Yeah.
words of affirmation. So I'm
Yeah.
pouring because I believe in
Constantly.
people, but my reciprocity, like, man, Shamika, I'm proud of you. You're doing a great job. Baby,
Yeah.
I'm proud of you. So it goes a long way. Now, I can say, too, I get a lot of people choosing up on me, but choosing up on me ain't, you know what I'm saying? It ain't being in my corner because, and it's so many people that want to support. The lines get blurred too, especially when you're in the limelight, because it's a lot of men that be coming like on some trying to take you on like really extravagant dates, doing extremely nice things, and so dating kind of gets rough too because it's so many. Men say it's a lot of options. There's a lot of men out here vying for your attention, even
Yeah.
if you're not doing anything with these people. They're trying to get your attention, so it gets confusing too because if you're dating and the person isn't bringing something to the table, it's like, man, this person, you know what I'm saying? Like, not to say we won't go through the things of certain people not bringing certain stuff to the table, but when you're a go getter, man, they out there. They want you. Like, it's a lot of people that want to try to pursue you.
So that you brought up bringing things to the table. I hear a lot of men say that to women. Like, what do you bring to the table? Do
But I'm
you
gonna tell you what's crazy though. Men don't ask me what I bring. Like, I get asked on dates a lot.
right,
But with me, you know how I am. Everybody doesn't know who I am. I don't want to be seen with everybody
right,
because I have an image, a reputation, and a brand. So if I'm seen, like, if I've ever dated you, which you probably, you know what I'm saying, they ain't seen me out here in these Memphis streets with too many. Probably can count them on one
one
hand,
hand. Yep.
probably on a couple of fingers.
Uh-huh.
But I'm not out here like because I don't. I'm like, if I'm dating you, that means I see something in you that I can. This is a person that I can. I will never be seen with nobody lazy.
Gotcha.
So if I'm seen with somebody, that means I believe in their potential and I really want to see them
Shine and grow.
shine
Gotcha.
and grow. But I'm not out here in these streets. Like, I don't care how extravagant the date is, how not, you know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
can't be seen with everybody. Like, I'm really,
I'm
so
gonna
yeah,
ask
it's
you
hard.
a question because we've
Sure.
been having debates lately about like first dates places to go. So I'm gonna ask you this because Huey's came up and there was a girl, and I understood her great. After I went and actually found the video, I kind of understood her great. Um, but this and I'll give the scenario for those of you who are not familiar. There was a young lady who, I guess, she had been talking to this guy, and they decided they were going on this first date. And he was like, I'm gonna take you somewhere real special, like, get real cute, dress up, get it together, girl, because we finna go, we finna paint the town. He painted that picture, and they ended up meeting up at Huey's, and so she had a problem with it. Now, me personally, my idea of a first date is, again, if I'm dating, I'm getting to know you. I'm not necessarily impressed by the most extravagant places, because at that point, I want to get to know you. I also feel like a lot of times when guys feel like they've spent so much money on you, they're expecting things in return. So I don't want them expectations on no first date. Now, later on down the line, yes, porch and follow me, please. But what do you feel about? I'm just keeping it real. So, what do you feel about like a first date at like a Huey's, or
It
I know in the past
depends.
it's been like the
It
Cheesecake
depends
Factory?
on and this ain't me even stepping on no toes. Meek Mill got a song called Levels. Meek was like, I'm talking about brackets. She ain't messing with you because you ain't in that bracket. I I'm from the hood, right?
Right,
But I've also went to college. I went to a HBCU.
right.
There are certain settings, like I did, like the office I work in is full of professionals,
Hmm.
lawyers, you know what I'm saying? People in their field, people who have money. So I feel like it depends on the type of person you're pursuing and things like that. Some women don't care about this, some do. Date the women that want to date you, and quit trying to force what you feel a woman should want on her. If she's a bad chick, now you want to force her to minimize what she's used to accommodate to who you
You
are at the present moment.
got
And
you.
then the girls that you can afford, not all men, but some men, the ones you can afford, you don't want. The ones that say, baby, you ain't got to spend no money on me. All I want is your time. I just need you to be there. A lot of times, the women that don't require the most, you overlook in effort to be with the bad bees, and then get mad because they won't accept minimal.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
then you use the girls who will accept minimal and don't want to be with them, even though it's like she's low maintenance. She doesn't require much. So
So
I
let
see that. Not to say all men are like that,
yeah.
but I do see that, a lot of times, and it's not all outside of stuff, but sometimes on social media people try to humble people. Um, but just date who likes you. Like if you took the girl to Huey, she didn't like it. First of all, get to know what a person likes and dislikes.
I
If I
agree with
don't
that.
like seafood and you take me to Red Lobster,
We're gonna have a problem.
I'm gonna be like, I don't like seafood. Now y'all just see it from the say, oh, she don't like Red Lobster. No, I don't eat seafood. What if the girl didn't like none at Huey's? It may have not had nothing to do with Huey's.
Yeah.
You took somebody where they don't like being and told them they should be grateful. If
Yeah.
I tell a man, if I tell a man who doesn't eat McDonald's, I'm gonna take you somewhere nice, or I'm gonna take you on a date and we go to McDonald's, and he don't like it, he say, Shamika, I don't eat this. I can't get mad because that's not his preference.
Right.
And I'm a reciprocal person. I've done this is the thing that people don't understand. With certain people, they will go above and beyond for you when they feel like they're being treated well.
Yeah.
If you know that they're not the type of person that will go above and beyond for you, if you feel like she's using you, or you feel like that's her character, why are you dating her? Or why are you dating him? Why are if you know the character, just chalk it up as a loss. Like, I don't know if this person is for me, because I want somebody that's a little bit more grateful with going to Huey's, or somebody that even likes Huey's. I like Huey's. I want somebody I can go to Huey's with.
Right.
So they may not be for me, instead of everybody's mad because somebody is selective about where they want to go on a date. It's so
Right.
surface level.
Yeah.
It's bigger issues to worry about than who does or who doesn't want to go where. Such as sneaky links. Like, we don't really talk about sneaky link culture,
Ooh.
and
Come
how
on, let's go on and get into it, girl. Let's talk
oh,
about
we're
the
gonna talk
sneaky
about it
link.
because what happens is we live in and I know I'm all over the place, but we live in a society where people have short attention spans, and really you can't really get to know a person because when you get a little in, now their mind is on somebody else because
Yeah.
of social media and
Yeah.
links. You don't know who's linking. You
Yeah.
don't know who's dating who. You could be all invested into a person thinking I'm doing what's right. They could be talking to someone else. So it's a very scary generation to be in because you're essentially competing with scrolling, and you really don't know who's messing off with who because
You don't.
people use privacy as a way to do them,
To move how they want to move.
to move how they want to
Absolutely.
move. And I get being private. I'm extremely private. A lot of people, like, I was in a long term relationship. I didn't see it. I was like, Now, if you inboxed me or reached out to me and asked me, was I seeing anyone?
I'd
I
be
didn't
honest
have
and
to.
tell
I
you.
was
Yeah.
honest about it, but
Yeah.
I didn't publicize my relationship.
So let's talk about that real quick. Publicizing relationships because I see a lot of people on social media. We've had that where I saw a couple that was this couple there, mixed race couple, and she got mad at him and then posted all the stuff like I held you down when we bought our first house. I put the down payment down, da 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 da.
Bruh,
Like, what do you?
I don't care how mad I am. If I have to delete some, if I post something, I could be mad and I could be raging mad. If I ever post something, it's gonna get deleted immediately because first of all, I'm always like we talk about ambition, so I'm always looking at my brand first.
Right.
You are your brand. And secondly, no matter how mad a man makes me, I'm still protecting him from the public scrutiny. Like there's certain stuff that got, I was like, this ain't working out with former relationships. I never bashed that person when I disconnected from them because I was still preserving their image
Right.
from the public. So I don't ever want to be the reason that a person's image is swayed because I'm mad at the moment because they may be a great person to other people. They may just have been not just, and people have to realize just because a person isn't a good fit for you doesn't mean they're not a good person in other areas. So I'm preserving publicity until marriage.
Mm-hmm. I
I
got you.
would
I
never,
understand that.
I would never go public with anybody. The only man I have went public with is Lorenz Tate, but other than him, no. I don't care how
Oh
much you see.
God.
We not going public until we walk down the aisle.
Gotcha, gotcha,
I'll
gotcha.
just, yeah.
When ladies post they're on a date with somebody and
I
they
wouldn't
black
post I
their
was on the date. I
picture
don't.
out, I think it's lame too. Because why would you black the person's picture out
Oh,
or
I don't think
hide?
it's lame, but I just don't do. I ain't gonna say that.
I think I'm going to be honest. My thing is, if you just want somebody to know you date, you can just post, "Hey, date night with Bae." We don't have to know who Bae
I
is,
ain't posting no better.
right? No, no, no. I'm just saying I don't. We don't have to post their picture or
No, I'm just
anything.
saying for me,
But
baby,
if
I'm not
yeah,
posting. Nah,
so if you
I
yeah,
ain't never been in that crazy about no bed.
right. Well, and we're gonna get into that in a minute. But even if I don't publicize my relationships online either. Um, I don't do that for several reasons. Number one, I really don't want nobody to try to fashion. Like if I'm all in love and lovey dovey and all this other stuff, I don't want you fashioning your relationships after me. I just feel like it's too much of a responsibility, you know, to have, especially if I'm not married to that person. That might not work out in a couple of months. In a couple of months, we might be apart, right? And it may not work out. So I'm not publicizing this person. Now, if we have an agreement and we do that, um, I could get it if we in this and we like no matter what we about to stand beside each other and we gonna make sure we work it out. But just me in a relationship, I was in a relationship for like 4 years, and not once did was there a picture of us posted together separately. I ain't even post where we
I'm gonna
went
be
out on
honest.
date.
I posted mine, but nobody knew.
Gotcha.
Yeah, if you knew me or you knew us, you knew who he was.
Right.
But it wasn't like if you didn't know I was with, it wasn't like they. But he was on my page. He was
Gotcha.
posted. I just
Yeah,
didn't publicize the fact we were together.
that y'all were seeing each other. Yes, I don't ever do that. Um, so let me ask you this. Let me switch it around. So say you dated a guy who wanted to publicize. I'm wanted to publicize your relationship. Or let me back up. Say you are with a guy who doesn't have a problem with publicizing the relationship. However, when you get when you start dating that person, like you've seen in past situations, they had their relationship plastered all over everything.
I don't
And
want
then,
nobody posting me.
okay, I got you. We on the same
Yeah.
page. I
I
just
don't
want,
care. Yeah, I
I
don't
just,
care if you
yeah,
posted your ex. Don't post me.
got
Now, if we take a picture together, just don't tell people we're together.
you, got you. Okay, okay.
If you're not my husband, don't be. I don't know. Like I no, don't
So
post me.
let me go here because that's gonna
You
lead
can
into
post
my
me,
next.
but don't say we're dating. Just this me and Shamika.
Just me and Shamika, cause
Yeah, like and I'm sure other people do that. They may post pictures with you thinking this woman just they cool, but they in a whole relationship out here. They're preserved. To me, that keeps people out of your business. I don't want nobody going down a rabbit. And to be quite honest, because I don't publicize who I date. People either assume I'm not dating anyone, or they assume every man I'm next to I'm dating. Like every time they're like I'm like.
got you.
Now I have been seeing, if I've been on a date, people if they see me, they know. But I be
Right.
like, dang, it's a lot of people that
So
know me.
I got you. So I'm gonna just roll into this next little question. Um, have you ever been in love?
No,
So
I hate to say that, but no, I have cared for people. I've had deep love for people, but I've never. I've gotten probably close to being in like what I felt like was in love. I've loved deeply. There was one person that I loved him very deeply, but I wasn't in love with him. It
got you.
was like surface level love. It was if I would have continually dated this person, it probably would have got to that point. But other than him,
Got you. I just I
and
so
it's been years ago.
right. Is there a reason why you may feel like that may not have ever happened? Do you just think the
I
right
think
person?
although I'm a very I can say I be in my feelings sometimes. Even though I be in my feelings, I'm not. So I
Okay.
always snap back to my logical sense, and I'm like, but I am super loyal. So loyal to. I can be loyal to a fault, but I
Yeah.
can
Me too.
separate the love.
From that
I don't know if that makes
loyalty.
sense. Like
Yeah.
it's like I'm loyal, but I don't really love you. Like I got love for you and I care for you, but I'm not in love. And once I get to that point, people can tell because I'm naturally nurturing.
Yeah.
So if I'm not being nurturing or I'm just being nice, then I'm probably I don't know.
Not that
I'm a
into it.
little different. I don't know what it is. I
Got
just
you.
never felt it. It would be cool, but
Yeah. And I have.
I've cared for people and I may have admired them. Like man, I admire him. He's dope. I admire his work ethic, but love, love is a sacrificial thing. Like my definition of love is we've sacrificed for each other. We've built something together. Um, we've grown to get to know each other. We take up each other's space, and it's okay. When you show up for me, I show up for you. We building something. I've never had that. I've never been in love. So by my definition of what love looks like, I've never experienced it. Mine was more so like surface level. Like we care for each other and
Mm,
we do things for each other, but it wasn't a sacrificial love. It's not like, man, we both gave up something for the greater good of the relationship. And I like I can say I've become better because of people like, man, I'm a better person from knowing you.
yeah.
But like I'm also a better person because I left you alone. So
Ah, I left you where you were, so I'm better because of it.
yeah, so it wasn't no words. Like they probably a better person for leaving me alone. Like we all make mistakes, men and women. Like I've messed up, or I may have not messed up. Like
Yeah,
but yeah, I've been close, but I've never, but that person sacrificed a lot though. And that was like in my mid 20s, mid
okay,
27, 26. But that person was showed up for me. They sacrificed a lot. They were a good person. It didn't work out for whatever reason, but it's probably the closest to in love that I ever felt. But I was also young.
got you.
So
Like I can say it's been probably a few times for me, and it wasn't with the person I was in that long term relationship with. Um, when I was in college, um, that was that for me. And really, had things been aligned properly, I think I probably would have married that person. Um, in my adult life, two other times. One I'm trying to get over right now. You know. I'm trying to get past that situation right this second. Uh, but I can't help it. I can't help it, and I don't know that mine is more so surface level, and it might be just me. In that situation, in the current situation,
yeah,
it may
surface
just be a
level
lot me.
because to me, when love sacrifices are made, not just on your end, but
On the other person's end.
on both ends.
Yeah.
Like for me to fall in love, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, so how my mind works, don't try this at home, folks.
Don't try it at
Don't try this at
home.
home. So how my mind works, I can be either I'm intensely crazy about you or I feel nothing. Like it's no, and I
In
wish I could
between.
be in between, but and maybe in the calm I can be, but like once I start thinking logically, then I start kind of pulling away mentally. Cause I'm like, this person isn't for me. And that doesn't make them a bad person at all. Like it may be that we just who you are doesn't align with who I am. And I still support you and I still love you. But our mission together just I get that it's not going anywhere for us and it's cool with me. So I don't know, like I just know I separate, but I have, in the past been blindly loyal and I didn't stay because of I'm so in love. It was because I'm still, we're together. So let me do it the best that I can, which I'm not gonna do going forward. But I feel like sacrifices into order for me to feel that type of love, we have to be sacrificing
For
ourselves
one another.
for the greater good of the relationship. I wouldn't mind like if the person that I was dating, they needed me to jump in and be of support.
Right.
Jumping back, pulling back from some of the things I'm doing to make sure that they feel loved, needed, and supported. But I
Right.
do have a lot going on, so I would love to be supported. Like even if somebody comes to an event or need, like, what do you need? Like
Yeah.
anticipating needs, and I realize like everybody's not going to know that, and if they're not in that arena, but there are certain things that I realize, man, some stuff money cannot buy. When
Right.
people show up for you, that means a lot. Like one of my friends, for instance, and like we're talking about, love, but she actually, let me see if I can show you. She bought me a clock when
Mm-hmm.
I got a raise at work. She bought me a clock.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna show you this clock, and it's so meaningful to me. She bought me a clock,
Well, that's
and
cute.
it says, "Success is not something that happens in the future. Success is made up of little steps taken right now." This gift means the world to me.
Yeah.
So somebody thinking of me enough to buy me a little small gift. My other friend bought me a journal. I love journals.
Yeah.
So like the small things, just paying attention to small things. Um, I like quotes. Even if somebody said, "Man, I know she like quotes," She sent us quotes. Let me buy her a quote book. So
Yeah.
it's the small, because we always looking at, I know I'm
Grand
going on a
gestures.
tangent. Am I saying the whole
No,
topic?
this is
I'm
a good
going on a
conversation.
tangent, but the small things matter to me. And I think we like social media has, like, we just don't pay attention to, and I'm very intentional. So I don't
Right.
be liking everybody. I'm not
Right.
phased by I don't, you know how I am. I don't get phased by attention, and I don't like everybody. I'm very intentional about where my time goes and who is going to.
Right.
So I'm just
Right.
like, maybe I'm not built for the generation I'm in, because
Yeah, I'm a small gestures girl too.
small
I I
stuff.
I'm not saying that I don't like the grand things. Let me not say that at all. But I do, if you think enough of me to call me, and it's not always us having a discussion about you. Um I find that a lot of times people who are so wrapped up in what they have going on, they like to really talk about them. And a lot of times what I'm learning is that I can be a listening ear, but if you can't do the same for me, that presents a problem for me. Because I don't have good days all the time either.
Mhm.
I have frustrating days, right? Um, so I think my really good girlfriends like you and my home girl, my two best friends, and I could talk to them and I could listen to that, whatever they got going on, and we bounce it, ideas off each other, advice. That's what
I
they want.
have friends like, and that's the scary part too. If I'm dating you, I don't want my friends to occupy your space. Not my female friends, because I have got homeboys that
Yeah,
pray for me and show up for me and support me and are there
right.
for me. And if I'm dating you, I'm prioritizing you. I
You
don't want
and
my
I want that same
homeboy.
priority.
No, I
Yep,
don't want my homeboy to outshine you. And then you
right.
feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've gotten flowers from, a friend, like, because I was having a bad day. I'm gonna
Yeah,
just keep it 100.
yeah,
So if I'm dating you, there's a certain expectation, not because I'm just being hard on you. It's because I know how people show up for me.
yeah.
I've gotten, like, I'm sick, and it may be a friend that buys me soup or make sure I'm
Mhm,
okay.
mhm.
And these are just my friends. Like,
Right.
literally, we've never dated before. But
Yeah,
they're guys, but they show up for me. So if my guy friend shows up for me at a certain capacity, there are certain expectations that I have out of the people out of the person or whomever I date.
right.
And if I'm not getting those things, then I'm like, what I need you for? Then I start losing, and like I start mentally checking out. Like,
Yeah.
I could go from, it's so crazy. I could go from being crazy about you to waking up one morning and just not caring at all. And I
Yeah.
hate that. I don't like that. I really
Mhm,
want to care, but I can't, because I
mhm.
have too much stuff to do. Like, it also boils down to my ambition too, because I really don't have time to care like that.
Right.
And but I think if I was in love or I was in something serious, I would care more. But man, when you chasing your dreams, you gotta prioritize. You can't be in your feelings like that. And I
Yeah.
think that's something that we don't talk about. But as, like, you can't be in your feelings. Like, I'll probably give myself a little time. I'll be in my feelings that day, but past that day, I can't even afford to be in my feelings because I got stuff to
I
do.
got stuff to do. That's a lot of times. I think when you're on the go all the time and you don't take that time to feel or to deal with certain things, I'm very guilty of that. I think I bottle up a lot of stuff, especially when it comes to even in a relationship. I
Yeah,
bottle.
because we don't really have time to, even if I address something, I value you enough to talk
Right,
about it. If you
right,
don't value the conversation, I'll stop. At some point, I'll just stop talking about it. I'll start mentally, and
checking
this is
out.
just me. I'll start mentally detaching,
Yeah, yeah,
and then eventually I'll be like, I'm checked out. And I hate that. I hate that about me. I really do, because I want to care, but when I start seeing this isn't going anywhere, I start mentally,
checking out
like,
and moving forward. Yeah,
yeah, mentally disconnecting from people. Like, Like, I like him, but this ain't going nowhere. This isn't really what I want. Let me mentally take myself out of this.
Okay.
But before I do that, I do have conversations.
Right. Because
So
you
once
want to tell the person, hey, so this right here doesn't
I
work for
give you
me.
an opportunity
Yeah, to fix it.
to fix it, or give myself an opportunity to process it. But and if it's not a fit, it may be me that it's not a
Yeah,
fit. And if it's not a fit, it's okay.
right,
And I think a lot of people don't understand it's okay to not be aligned with a person.
right.
I don't know why that little thumbs up thing
I don't
came
know
up,
why
but
this coming up either. We ain't live. Look.
but it's okay. I think people don't understand it's okay to be like, well, we're not working out. And if I have those conversations with people, they think I'm being harsh, but it's really like, if we're not aligned, it will hurt to detach, but it may be necessary in the grand scheme of things, because if your mission isn't aligned with mine, then there's going to be conflict.
Yeah. And it's like a what are we doing type of situation. I had a couple of more. We're gonna wrap it up.
Sure.
One thing that I noticed looking at the different podcasts and looking at the different relationship gurus online and that sort of thing, a lot of conversations are being had about Black women wanting more and receiving more versus our other counterpart parts of other races.
Let's talk about it, baby. Let's
Yes,
talk about it,
yes.
because so as of late, I've been being approached. Like, I've never dated outside of my race,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm starting, the internet be lying first and foremost. I get hit on by, because they say, when you get to a certain age, only this type of man wants you. But really, like, I get hit on a lot by little young dudes, like in their 20s.
Oh my God.
You
Oh my
you know I'm
God.
not lying. Tell me I'm
Listen,
lying.
you're not because I do too. I don't. I just be like, child. I have a child
Not
that's
yeah,
22
not
years
only
old.
that,
I don't want to date you.
men of different races are starting to approach me. Like, I'm getting a lot of men from different ethnic
Yeah,
backgrounds, not online. I'm talking about like
in person.
in
Yeah, yeah,
person. So
yeah.
I was at Burlington one day, and this man, he just stopped me. He was like, "You are so gorgeous," and I was like, I was taken aback by it, because I'm like, where did this man come from? So I think these internet streets will have you thinking that women don't have options, but I get hit on by men outside of my race
Well,
a
specifically,
lot
Black
too.
women don't have options.
Specifically, we do. And
Right,
they
we
be
do.
thinking, the man, he was like, "You're just so gorgeous." He was really trying to take me out, but I'm just like, I was just taken aback by it. But,
Yeah,
then I started saying, am I limiting myself by not opening up my, you know what I'm saying? Because, I'm getting older. So I do want to keep my options open. So,
absolutely, absolutely, and we should. So I had an experience, and I have had white men hit on me uh before, specifically white men. I've had some other races, a couple of other different races, and then of course on the internet for whatever reason they just feel like it's opening season, uh,
yeah, but
which
they
is
they will
crazy.
yeah, they will have you thinking that you're undesired.
Yeah, yeah,
But baby, we are desired. Like, just like you, I feel like what people don't get it twisted. Just like you liked me and you shot your shot, somebody else does too.
yeah.
And
I
everybody's intentions are different. You may say, "Well, do you only want this?" You don't know that.
you don't, you absolutely don't. Um, so yeah, I see that a lot. I was watching Keita Rose. Keita Rose is one of my faves. I love her. She goes her little rants. It's funny to me, but she has a point. She was talking about how I think maybe recently Columbus Short, who is a actor, that I loved him on Scandal. I did, and I was mad that they killed his character off, but he kind of did it to himself. He went on a podcast and was uplifting his wife, um, uplifting his current wife. His current wife is of a different ethnicity,
Mm-hmm.
whereas the previous wife, they had domestic violence issues. It was a whole thing, right? But you see him on this podcast talking about the difference of dating a black woman versus the whatever ethnicity his current wife is. And then you have women of other ethnic backgrounds discussing how well black men treat me better, right? So you see a lot of that going on, and it can be disheartening as a black woman to see that, right?
But the statistics aren't reflective of what they're saying, because statistically speaking, black men and other races have the highest divorce rates. Black women and white men have the statistically the longest marriages. So what their rhetoric, what I had to realize is a lot of the online rhetoric doesn't match with the stats. People do stuff for they say and do things for shock value nowadays. So they'll pray, and then the percentage of people that talk about those things doesn't represent the whole. I think I looked up stats on, dang, I forgot how many black men. I think 80% of black men say they prefer, 80+% say they prefer a black woman. So that small percentage are the ones doing those podcasts.
Yeah,
It's not a
gotcha,
large percentage. And
gotcha,
I think we're allowing the people, because it's so saturated with divisive rhetoric,
right,
that though they become the majority online, but they're really the minority.
gotcha. So you got the panel Love, Lust, and Sacrifice coming up. And I want to know, what does that mean to you?
Love. So I read a quote years ago. It said, "Lust feels like love until it's time to make a sacrifice." That means it's easy to be with somebody when things are surface level. We talking on the phone, we laughing, we joking, we kicking it, whatever the case may be. Can kind of like the song "Can You Stand the Rain?" Like, the song is the perfect. "Can You Stand the Rain" is the perfect example of love, lust, sacrifice. He said, "On a perfect day, I know I can count on you," but he said, "Tell me, baby, can you weather the storm? Because I need somebody that's gonna stand by me." It's easy to be by somebody when everything is going good. Like, can you
Right,
stand the rain? Like, when I'm at my worst and when I'm breaking down, when I'm having an anxiety attack, when I'm stressed out. Like, I have like anxiety, like I have racing thoughts, right? So a lot of people wouldn't be able to deal with that, because it's like, dang, she will lash out in a minute. But to even say, man, I love her enough to try to understand her, so that we can like, baby, what's going on? Like, you gonna do great, your show gonna do great. Like, calm down. Like, to even understand somebody on a different level, because you've taken the time to get to know them beyond the surface. Because when you look on the internet, all you see is, oh, she's, like, different women and different men. You see the surface, you see the nice cars,
yeah,
you see the handsome, the beauty. You don't see what people are going through on a day-to-day
right,
basis. So love, lust, sacrifice means sacrificing who you are for the greater good of y'all. Like,
yeah,
sacrificing your ego, being open enough to apologize when you're wrong, or admitting when you're wrong,
yeah,
being open to effective communication, really getting to know your mate beyond the surface, not giving up on me.
right.
When I say I want out, baby, we not, no,
Nope, we finna
we
talk.
not
We
gonna.
finna work this
Yeah,
thing
we gonna
out.
work this out. And nowadays, face social media is it's always the next best thing. And that's the scary thing about our generation, because also I work with people with disabilities, so people don't think about sickness. We always think about being well when
Yeah,
we think relationships. We think, this part. What about when you sick? Is that person gonna come to the hospital and visit you?
right.
When your mom is going through something, or your mom is sick, is this person gonna come with you to the hospital to visit your mama?
Yeah,
Is this person gonna hold your hand when you going through the good and the, because that's love is built off of those
yeah,
moments. That's why I said I've never truly been in. I've never really, I've had little things I went through, but I've never truly went through the storm and got through the storm with this person on my side.
yeah,
Not in a help. People have their shortcomings, but when the going gets tough, the tough gets going. But not my she going through. I gotta be there for her. Like, babe, you good, and not causing you more strife, because it's
and
like
more
y'all not
stress.
on. Yeah, more strife and stress. But like, man, he really got my back. That's what I like when I look at a protector. That's somebody, man. My husband, or my husband got it. Like, my husband got me. And
Yeah.
like men look for qualities in a wife, I look for husband
Qualities
qualities.
in
And
a husband.
yeah,
Yeah.
and one of the qualities in my husband that I want is I know he has me covered, not only in prayer, but period. But prayer first and foremost. But man, I know he got my, like Sierra was saying, and I'm not, trying to bring them up, but when she was like, that man got my back.
Yeah.
When somebody got your, like you and I have talked about it, you had, there was a situation where you needed something and I showed up. Showing
Yeah.
up for somebody
Is
when you not gonna get nothing in return,
listen.
you don't know if you gonna get nothing in return.
Right.
Showing up just because it's you,
Right.
being there, being
Right.
present,
Yeah.
not being distracted by devices, not being passive aggressive,
Yeah. Yeah.
knowing, getting to know your person.
Yeah. When it counts.
So, yeah, when it counts. So that's why I said, man, it's easy to be with somebody when like everything is on the up and up. It's cool. It's surface level. We touchy feely, but it's like, man, when I need you, can I depend on you to show
Right.
up for me? Even if it's a listening ear, like, baby, you got this podcast coming up. When is it? How
Yeah.
can I support you?
Yeah.
Versus, oh, okay, you got an event coming up.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, so just that's my biggest thing is like, man, that's what the panel is about: love, lust, and sacrifice. Because we want to dive into, and I may have gave a really elaborate answer, but we want to dive
That was a
into
good answer.
love, lust, and sacrifice. We got two married people on the panel, a man and a woman, me being the single person, and then we got a divorcee who's presently single. So is I created this panel a year ago. We did it the first run. This is our second time doing it. I'm super excited about it. It's on December the 1st from 3 to 5 p.m. at Bigger Than Me Business Solutions. It's going to air on the CCE network, and it's going to be a fruitful conversation.
Yeah.
Like, we're really going to, it's not going to be surface level. Is we really they were talking, they was like, we may get to debating up in that mug, because it's gonna get to the meat and bones of why are we and as women and men so disconnected, and how can we better understand each other, which is, because dating, I wouldn't say dating is bad, but I feel like it's become very surface level and very like it's not really fruitful. Dating is
No, it
very like,
isn't.
she look good. Oh, it didn't work out with her. She look good. Oh, it didn't work out with her. She look good. She
We hop from person
twerking.
to
She
person.
throwing it. So
Yeah.
now it's like, it's not like they not looking. People aren't looking for anything lasting. They're looking for something
Right now.
surface, and they're always on to the next. Because everybody, if you look at anybody, like if you measure, if I go online right now, it's always gonna be somebody that looks better than who you picked, because somebody's going to have different qualities. But knowing how to just really get to know a person and sticking, being,
Think about him. Yeah.
yeah, sticking by them. But yeah, we don't, because it's so many then an illusion of options.
Yeah. 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 Well, I want to thank you so much for coming on. Very first guest. I'm excited. Super excited about
Yeah, I
this.
got you the real tea.
You did. You got me some tea. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Because I don't know about opening up. I bet people probably like, she was in a relationship when.
But I mean, it's good because you keep fuck out your business. So
Yeah, I was in a relationship, but I
yeah,
said I did without that. I didn't want to bash him, because even like we bashed, we dis connect respectfully. So
yeah,
even though it didn't last or whatever, I'm grateful for the lessons I learned, and I grew into a better woman because of that experience.
yeah.
So I'm
That
grateful.
situation. I always say people are in your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Sometimes the one or two of those things can align. And a lot of times they are every situation that you are in or that you get in is to teach you something. You're gonna learn something from that situation, whether it's I shouldn't have did that, or I shouldn't have been in that situation, or hey man, okay, because of this person being in my life for the period of time they were in my life, I learned this, that, and the third. So there are reasons that everybody enters your life. You never know why. And it can open your mind up. It can help you learn something about you, even if it's a situation that you get into that you probably shouldn't have been in because you're not past a certain situation. You're still learning yourself and learning about yourself and learning every day. I think we all are continual learners, constantly. And I think relationships can definitely teach you that regardless. And so although every situation is not good, every situation is not always meant for your good in that time, it teaches you, hey, this is what I won't tolerate anymore. I'm not gonna put myself in this position again. Those are things, those are stepping stones, and those are learning experiences. And that's why I think relationships are super important. And a lot of times we're not gonna find our person right off the bat. A lot of people feel like when you get with somebody, oh, this is my person, and you have to be realistic about that. If later on down the line there might be some things that you really get to looking at that person, it's like, I don't like this, I don't like that. That person's not very supportive. That person's not there for me. Those things, if it's a one-sided situation and you're not receiving reciprocity in that situation, that becomes an issue and a problem too. And I see that in a lot of relationships. I'm gonna mention two different situations and then we're gonna completely wrap up. I've seen situations where there have been things come in, I have two different married couples that I could use for an example. One married couple, they've been through sickness, they've been through financial issues, they've been through miscarriages, they've been through different things, but all in all, they stayed together regardless, and they were there for each other. They had each other's back. They were support each other's support system. You ain't got it, I got it. I ain't got it, you got it, and so on and so forth. And so, you want to start this business? Let me get behind you. What we need to do for the family? What's the goal of the family? What's the goal to move forward? And then I had another situation that I know of where one of the spouses got sick, and that kind of was the straw that broke the camel's back for that relationship. And the other person ended up moving on because they couldn't take that they couldn't take that um um that they took that situation and that was their out, right? So, and to me, even in a marriage, right, you cannot know the person that you're married to. You can be married to them for several years, or they might get tired. And what I know I say I do want is, I want a situation to where I don't want that to ever be the case. I want you to make sure you take those vows that I take with you seriously. Because I mean what I say when I get up there before whomever, a judge or a preacher, and say, hey, I'm taking these vows into consideration. I'm taking everything seriously, right? And a lot of times when we're just in a relationship, you find that certain people aren't going to put up or tolerate certain things. So it's time to move on because that's not your person. So I definitely understand and recognize and realize that those are things that we can learn from and grow from. But it's also something that you have to take into consideration. And you talked about communication earlier. We talked about that. There's a lot of things we don't communicate in relationships. We get with people and we don't talk about what we like. We don't talk about what we dislike. We don't talk about what we'll tolerate and won't tolerate. We don't have those deep conversations with our mates. Everything's super surface level. And I challenge each of you, anybody that's listening to this podcast, if you are in a relationship, have deep conversations with your mate. If y'all can't have serious conversations and deep conversations or have a plan with how to move forward, in my opinion, that might not be your person. Just that's just my thought process on that. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you, dear Shamika. I'm so happy that you were able to come on and just get with me. Get with me. And I'm so thankful for you sharing some of your knowledge in your situation, navigating those relationships. Guys, make sure y'all join us again on the next episode of Cocktail Therapy, the podcast. Thank you so much. Goodbye.